All right, everyone. I'm back. I went out. Well, one, I had to take a leak, and then I went and got some coffee, talked to my wife for a minute. And I think I got back just in time for Jeremy to end the stream. So I'll kind of bring you guys up to speed on where it's at, where the election is, kind of my final thoughts, and then, we can call it a day until we get more information, right? So this is kind of where it stands. Let's look at, I'm going to update the New York Times map. So I'm going to share the screen here with you guys. All right. So here's the New York Times map. So Pennsylvania is still going in favor of Trump. I have my doubts if that's going to remain constant. Michigan, Biden has now pulled ahead by 9,000 votes. Wisconsin, Biden is ahead by 21,000 votes. Keep in mind, he jumped when Milwaukee just dumped all their votes at once. Now remember, people in Pennsylvania went home because it was too hard to count the votes. So it was at 64% for 10 hours, 12 hours. And but Wisconsin was able to count, 100 and I think it's like 30,000 something about their votes in a very short time period. So that's the first thing. I'm just going to show you the map of what it's going to be if this remains the same. Okay. So Nevada has already told us we're not going to get anything until Thursday, which I'll do my conspiracy theorizing here in a minute. This has remained pretty constant. I don't know, for quite a while. And, whenever Kevin was on, we were gaming it out. We were basically saying that if Trump, gets one district in Maine and this Nebraska district doesn't go red, then it's a tie election. As it turns out, he lost the one in Maine and he picked up the one in Omaha, which these cities are dead to me. But that's another story. So this map right here is probably what we're going to be looking at whenever everything's counted. Now I'll do some tinfoil hat for you, and you can do with it what you want. Nevada's waiting until Thursday because I think I'm not going to say because. All right, I'm not going to say because. It's weird that they're saying we're not going to get the stuff today. We're going to get these other results Thursday. That's weird. That could be interpreted as signaling. In other words, so for example, if Trump takes Michigan, or some of these other states, because we don't know. Let's say Nevada's actually here. Right? That could be some type of signal of, we actually might need to go blue, because if Trump takes, or if Biden takes Pennsylvania, right? And let's say Nevada's actually this, and Trump takes Michigan, then Nevada is the decisive vote between a tie and a Biden victory. So it could be a signal of looking to see what happens over here. And so what do I mean by that? The signaling thing. I said this before, and I've gamed this out a few times with you guys. I just don't see any world where we can look at the results from some of these states and just say that they're for sure legitimate. And I don't like that. Like I said earlier, I said I don't like the fact that my mind generates that thought, like you know, I didn't control that thought goes into my head. But I did that whole thread on Twitter with just a few examples of the places where there's hundreds of thousands of outstanding mail-in ballots. And as long as those are out there unaccounted for, I don't know how we assume that any of these are legitimate, especially the close races. Like, I assume California is legitimate. I assume New York's legitimate. I assume Wyoming and North Dakota and, you know, Kentucky and Mississippi are all legitimate, right? But any ones that are close, so here would be the litmus or the formula. If a state has a very close race, and also that state has 500,000 unaccounted for ballots just out there, then we can't take those results seriously. But I think this is going to be the outcome here. Wisconsin has 146,000, almost 147,000 votes missing of the requested versus returned mail-in ballots. Michigan has 477,000 missing. Nevada has 1.19 million, almost 1.2 million ballots missing, which by the way is about as many people as voted in 2016 total. So they basically have like twice their voter turnout in missing ballots. So that's exciting. Virginia's got a bunch missing. North Carolina, Pennsylvania has almost 600,000 missing. So, you know, you just have to say that as long as those are unaccounted for, you can't take it seriously. But the problem is that the media has already set the stage for Trump. Said he's going to cheat. He's going to, you know, claim victory even if Biden wins. And we're in a scenario where there's some weird things that they're not calling, right? So let's go back to this New York Times. It seems like they're dragging it out in multiple places. Like Alaska, you know, Georgia, you know, honestly, Georgia's within 180,000, you know, who knows, man. North Carolina, you know, I can understand that. But anyway, it just seems a little weird to me, the way they're dragging this out in some places. And it makes it seem like it's buying time for Pennsylvania, for Nevada. And again, this is just, you know, here's the thing I would say. Is there anything that would surprise you at this point in time? Especially from the left. They've built this president up to be a fascist dictator, Adolf Hitler, racist, you know. And Jeremy Bentham made a great point. He says, is this their Operation Valkyrie? You know, that was the plan that came really close to trying to assassinate Hitler. You know, they might see this as that if someone was inclined to cheat. Again, I'm not saying I have any evidence of cheating. I don't have that, but I'm just saying opportunity is rife. And, you know, what do you look for in a crime? You look for motive and opportunity, right? Motive and opportunity. Well, motive, you know, anytime, you know, you want to win. So that's not good enough. But if you think you're going against Hitler, now you have real motive. Opportunity is all those missing mail-in ballots. So I've got some real doubts here. And you know, the question being, there is something to be said for the fact that we got all these, a lot of these places, you know, the mail-in stuff comes in late, right? And it was mostly, they were saying blue mirage in some of these states that they didn't think they were going to win anyway. Florida and Texas were not going to go blue, sorry. but red mirage in the states that pressed pause on the mail-in ballots, right? Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. So it was, we're going to get all the votes in, and then, there's a way where we can see how many we need, and then we'll just go a little bit more than that, just a little bit, just a snip, just a scotch, and go from there. So this is so sketchy to me, and it goes back to the mainstream media is what makes this possible, because they're gonna play this up. The Trump undermined it anyway. Biden actually won, whenever they call Nevada or whatever. And I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm not optimistic here, folks. I'm not optimistic. So that's gonna be it for now, because there's not really much else to say, and I think there are people smarter than me who are going to be analyzing this, and some of them, are going to say, well, gosh darn it, we lost. And there are others who are going to hopefully be doing some real analysis as to why that might have happened, and trying to figure out, what's the legitimacy here. This is an advertisement I got here. Of course, it's going to show you that little part of the screen there. Of course, now it's a Burt's Bees advertisement, right? Anyway, that's just funny. So, all right, my official prediction is very different than it was at the beginning. Is that Biden 271, Trump 267. Weird that these little districts in Nebraska and Maine, could be it. He could have gotten around any potential malfeasance with those, but we shall see. We shall see. I would say it's not likely, but anyway. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone that tuned in to the live stream. It's been a long night, and it was fun. Kevin, James, Jeremy, Coop, right? And then last but certainly not least, Deb. Oh my gosh, Deb, we got to have a conversation about education. That was a lot of fun. And everyone else who asked questions, who joined in the live stream, joined the live chat. It was really great. It was cool to do this with you guys. And I hope there was some value, that you found it entertaining. And so I just appreciate it. So anyway, if this is the kind of thing you're into, please like, share, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. That's at My Mundane Mind. Return to Reason. So locals.returntoreason.com or returntoreason.locals.com. Return to Reason on YouTube. ThinkSpot, Medium, Spotify, all those other things. Yeah, I think that's it for now, folks. I will check in with you guys probably later tonight. We'll see, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, not looking good. So a lot of question marks, a lot of planning. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. So let's figure out the areas that need to be disinfected and start shining some sunlight on them. All right. I'm going to end the live stream now.